All right, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for Attack on Titan, Season 4, Episode 3.
All right, yeah.
We got some good food, some good meat to sink into, and it's not the Titan kind.
Nope.
Because Reiner's still, Reiner's still around,
Yeah,
That's good,
and he's not doing well.
He's not doing well. His family is on some
Surviving.
level aware a little bit that he's not doing well. His mom especially.
Oh, yeah.
And the fear that grips them all. And in some ways, the thing that Reiner might be a little bit out of touch with that element of culture because he's been gone for so long. And even after being probably back for, 3 or 4 years or something.
Right.
He's still, letting it slip at times that he's no longer the same son that left all those years ago.
And that, we really are caged. Our life isn't actually as great as we think it is.
But the tension's building just in general. There's some really crazy things going on with Zeke, but also we're getting to know the warriors in training, the wits, the little wits.
Exactly. Gabby and Falco are awesome. Dynamic duo. I'm absolute opposites.
The more I watch the second episode, I'm also warming up to Udo a little bit. I kind of get where his shtick kind of is pointed towards specifically. But I also really, really like the other Titans that we had been recently introduced to with Galliard and Peak.
Yeah.
Because, oh my God, they are such a different set of characters compared to Reiner
thus far.
or Bertolt or Annie. Basically, any of the other ones that were sent to Paradis. So, wow. Yeah. I want to get more into these characters, though. But, anything else?
I'm really excited. I'm really excited.
All right. Well, as always, guys, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff. This is such a big deal. This is such a crazy moment for the channel to have a final season for Attack on Titan. And by the way, if you want to get extra discussions on all this stuff, be sure to check out our Attack on Titan deep dive streams that we're doing on Mondays, 3 p.m. Pacific time. Details in the description. Oh, and also, guys, a really quick thing here. We are highlighting specific comments that Jacob, our as of recently caught up manga reader.
Indeed, I'm curating to help, just propagate the discussion while at the same time keeping Caleb's virgin eyes protected.
Yeah, so we have basically a specific code we give in the discussion, which is something related to the episode. And if you watch the whole discussion, you'll get it. And then if you put in a comment with that is something that Jacob thinks would be a good thing to bring up in the discussion side of things,
we'll have it here.
Have them focus here. So the first comment is from Kinsey2. Something I wanted to bring up for the next reaction. On the subject of Colt being able to handle his alcohol better than it looks, I think there might be even more to that scene. At roughly the same time that Colt is talking up Gabby and her amazing accomplishments, Falco and Reiner are having their conversation, where Reiner basically encourages Falco to be the next armored Titan to protect Gabby. I think Colt might have been doing the reverse, talking up Gabby and getting everyone to see her as a hero to increase her chances of being the next armored Titan, so that his little brother is spared that. Whoa! That's a really cool insight.
Crazy to think about, right?
Yeah. We obviously don't know enough about Colt yet to be able to say if that's what he was doing, but it'd be some interesting depth to his character if that was his intention. Also, we love you, Reiner. Oh my God.
Isn't that chilling to think about?
I really do like it, because he can use the I was drunk as an excuse for anything that he was doing during that time. But it also was something that was really spoken with conviction. And yet I assumed it was basically kind of the drunken conviction of basically him feeling like he didn't have any filters on to keep him from gushing about how
she saved them.
Not just how amazing she was, but that Eldian lives were saved.
Right.
Because of her actions. So
that's which is it? One. Who knows? Both work.
It's true. All right, and Chinpo Kamui says the scene of Reiner seeing his old dead alive friends in Gabby and the other warriors as the ship blocked the sun rays, and then the wait in terror was 10 out of 10. Absolutely. And the wait was something they repeated multiple times. Yeah. These kids are the only bright thing in Reiner's life, and without them, he just goes back into sadness. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Daddy Reiner, we love him. And Ted says, what do you think about the dynamic animation in the talking scenes? Specifically when the camera pans around a chance to get a different view during the talk between Reiner and Galliard, or the consistent and lively movements of Gabby in the dinner table scene. I personally think it's incredible. We love you, Reiner. Yeah, I loved it.
Yeah,
that was really cool.
It's one of those things where it's like, okay, if we could get this kind of like quality and stuff for that kind of character animation and stuff with the rotoscoping and everything done more often, and particularly in cases where it fits the character, like Gabby.
Right.
For some of the other characters, it doesn't seem as in tune with their personality, maybe. But for Gabby being all energetic and stuff, I love it.
Right. In some ways, the part where Udo had his kind of equivalent stuff like that in like episodes 1 and 2, a part of it felt like they were trying to accentuate how broken and in some ways borderline crazy he is at times, because his animation had those little jittering, like stuttering movements and stuff.
Yeah, just so much extra energy that almost felt like it didn't necessarily need to be there.
Well, not the extra energy, basically that it was like desynchronized. It was something that didn't feel like it matched perfectly, so it made him look even more out of sorts.
Gotcha.
And I don't know if that was intentional or if it was just that kind of animation is really hard to do, so they didn't like get it as perfect or as really 10 out of 10 as Gabby's was. But yeah, I really like it because it's just something we didn't get in, Wit, Attack on Titan.
Yeah.
Like, ever, really. Yeah. So, okay. That's some great comments and stuff. Guys, be lookout for the code in the discussion. And, let's get into this reaction.
私たちには悪魔の血が流れているからね。お前にお父さんがいない。
Oh! Oh, shit! Reiner backstory!
Yep.
マーレ人だか
Oh.
らエルディア人と一緒にはいられない。
Oh, no!
無事に生まれていれば。
Oh, my God.
Yep.
Oh, my God. Let's go. Wow. Oh. Same home and everything. Dang, that was his mother's motivation that pushed him, basically.
Yeah.
Oh my God. So what a callback to season 1, remember? The 104th Young, and stuff.
Yep.
俺たち7人の中から一挙に6人だ。
Wow. So Galliard is the only one that doesn't get picked.
やっただ。一人余るならドベロお前だろ。
Oh.
お前が評価されたのは試験で。
Wow. So he's the underdog here.
悪魔どもは僕が
Yeah.
必ず皆殺しにしてみせますってな。
俺たちの任務をバカにするのか。それともお前はエルディア復権派の残党か。
Holy crap.
てめえは一人で13年待つんだな。
Oh, jeez.
Uh-huh.
ないな。すまない。
Oh.
マーレ人になって母さんと父さんと
Oh,
3
shit.
13年も待ってられない。
And he has no idea what kind of ways this is going to break him. And
Yep.
oh my God, look at these little babies. Look
Yep.
at them.
13年で英雄になるんだろう。
Wow.
Uh-huh.
パラディ島の悪魔を成敗して
Warrior, soldier, hero, devil,
Son.
son.
自慢の息子になる。
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh my God, yes. Oh my God, yes. Oh my God, yes. Are we going to see it from their perspective? That day? Ah! Oh my God.
Man, did they really need to play the OP here? Like,
Attack on Titan. Are we actually? Eva? No. Kokone?
what? I have no idea what you're talking about.
Oh my God. And they need to do this because he's scheduled to die soon. Like we need this. This isn't sudden backstory of a side character equals horrible tragic death. This is get that backstory out of there.
Yep.
Because he's gonna die soon. Okay. Wow.
Oh man, and done in
So
2D
good.
is so good. Yeah.
They can call pure titans. Okay.
アギトの巨人は強襲型だ。小ぶりな分、最も素早く。
God, that looks so good. I
know, right?
Oh my God.
Oh, it's beautiful.
マルセルに託した長期間の任務に。
Yeah, and it's just like the drill sergeant in first season.
作戦の幅が広い。
Oh my God.
判断力のあるピークで間違いないだろう。そして。
And then there's the colossal
And then
titan.
we've got the Jesus.
Yep.
破壊した。子供に 始祖奪還計画を
It's cool. This music is a lyricless version of a season 1 song.
そうか、たった今その子供たちが国を一つ潰してみせた
Jeez.
おかしいだろ。なんでドベのお前が選ばれるんだ。
ドベはお前だった。それだけだろ。ポッコ。
Oh, and the nickname, yeah.
ボルコ。
お前軍の決定に逆らうのか。
ライナ。
You did it, Reiner.
Yeah. And you just split up two brothers. You'll
Yep.
never see each other. Yeah. Oh, his mom. Is that dad?
父さん、そうなんでしょ。母さんは僕が生まれる前、この弊社で働いてた。そこで母さんが
God.
カリナ・ブラウンと出会った。ほら見てよ。僕と母さんは名誉マーレ人になったんだ。これで一緒に暮らす。
ふざけるな。俺を縛り首にしてんだろう。俺は逃げ切ってやるからな。お前らエルディアの悪魔の親子から。
Ugh.
待っているからね。
そうだ。父なんかいなくても、俺は鎧の巨人を託された選ばれた戦士。なんだよ。まさか島の悪魔を殺すことをためらっているのか。
Oh,
奴ら
no
が何をやったか忘れたの
way.
か。俺たちは世界を代表して悪
Oh,
魔
no
を裁くべく
way.
選ばれた戦士なんだ。
Yeah, the most resolute of any of them.
Uh-huh.
ライナ、すまない。お前は本当は戦士に選ばれるはずじゃなかったのに。お前を持ち上げたり、弟を落としめたり、
Oh!
軍に印象操作。
Oh, he wanted to save his brother!
俺は
Oh my god!
すまない。ライナ、すまない。
Hey, he's gonna save his life!
なんで
Yeah!
謝るんだよ。
Uh-huh.
Oh my god!
Just like that.
アギトを探して帰る。どこかで人の姿に戻ってるはずだ。
Oh.
マルセルの指揮なしじゃ。
Oh. Oh,
Yep.
whoa! So
Yep.
then...
ダメだ。ダメだ。
Wow, that's it. That's
こ
the...
の
the
任務を続行する。
oh,
始祖を獲得しなきゃ。もう故郷には帰れないんだ。
damn.
その冷静さの100分の1でも発揮してくれれば、アギトもマルセルも失わずに済んだのに。
Oh.
自分の身を守るためなら私たちを脅すってわけ。
Wow.
Yep.
マガトに弁明しな。何が名誉マレ人だ。選ばれし戦士だ。
No wonder they're so like... Oh my god!
私もそうだ。生きて帰んなきゃいけないんだよ。悪いと思ってんなら死ねよ。罪をかぶって死ね。
Oh my god! Holy shit!
ライナは死んだ。
Oh my god!
が必要だな。俺がマルセ
Oh my god!
ルもう
Oh, Bird! He's just had to watch this unraveling
Yep,
of Reiner
yep,
all
yep.
the way.
エロ。みんなで
And there it is.
Uh-huh.
All the way back from season 1. Wow. Holy shit.
Yep.
Galliard's whole thing you were emulating in my brother. Wow. Oh my god.
Yep.
俺は戦士になりたかった。母の願いを叶え、
Oh.
暮らせると思ったから。なんで謝った。なんで俺なんかを助けた。嫌だ。まだ終わりたくない。まだ何も分かってないんだ。
Oh my god. Wow.
Uh-huh. In the same building.
ごめんな。本当の戦士になるから。
Holy shit.
貴様は何しにここに来た。人類を救うためです。
Yeah.
Oh, wait. Was that Kenny? That was Kenny.
じじいをつかませて
Oh,
男を見る目があるようだな。
oh, dang.
ひどいよ。パパ。
パが嫌いになる年頃か
Oh my god.
この足の感じだと今日は雪か
Oh! Oh! The...
あんたらの友達は大勢死ぬね
A lot of your friends.
言ってるだろう奴らは友達じゃない悪魔だだが信頼を得るのは損じゃないむしろ孤立するお前の態度の方があからさまで
吐きそうこれ以上顔近づけない
ずっと同じ夢を見るんだ
Oh.
開拓地で首を吊ったおじさんの夢だなんで首をくくる前に僕たちにあんな話したんだろうって
Oh.
エレン少し休め信じます
Yeah.
このままじゃ俺は何も果たせず終わっちまう
Oh, it's so cool to see Aaron like from this age and stuff and
Yeah.
ただやるべきことをやるそれしかねえだろ
そうだよ
oh.
巨人を一匹残らず駆逐するんだろうお前ならやれる
Come on, Ryder, no! Come on!
そうだ俺にはまだあいつらが
Oh.
Yep.
God.
おい
Oh, this guy again.
ここに心的外傷の治療に来てるが俺のは嘘だ
Wait a minute.
記憶障害で家まで帰れないってことにしてるが本当は帰りたくないだけだ病院の人に言うか
Oh my god.
ことはしませんよ
That's Yuki Kaji.
戦士になるための訓練か
That's Yuki Kaji!
でも俺はなれま
Holy shit! Holy shit!
No, Yuki Kaji's in electrical. He's not here right now.
君はいいやつだ長生きしてくれるなら嬉しいよでも俺はそいつを戦士に
Oh my god!
どうして次の鎧はあいつがいいって言うはずでも
Yep, yep. Oh my god!
俺はここに来て毎日思うなんでこんなことに
Wow. Wow.
Uh-huh.
蝕まれ徹底的に自由を奪われ
Oh, this track, yes.
みんな何かに背中を押されて地獄に足を突っ込んだ大抵その何かは自分の意志じゃない他人や環境に強制されて仕方なくだた
Whoa.
だし自分で自分の背中を押したやつの見る地獄は別だ
Oh.
その地獄の先にある何かを見ているそれは希望かもしれないしさらなる地獄かもしれない
Yeah.
それは
Yeah. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Yep.
What? Oh my god.
Hold on to your butt.
I'm so terrified now. What's the game? He's just like looking amongst them and like, are you worth saving? Like getting amongst them and infiltrating, being like, who are you people? I want to know you, I want to understand you. Oh my god, but then if he's here, there's no way he's alone. There's no way. Oh my god.
Yeah.
If he and Reiner see each other or even talk for like the slightest little bit.
Uh-huh.
Oh my god.
Yep.
And it would be easy for it to just accidentally happen. Like Reiner goes to see Falco,
and he's hanging out with Aaron.
and he's like, "Oh yeah, who are you? Who's your friend?"
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Oh.
This is one of those things where I was curious how they were going to do it because you can't disguise Yuki Kaji's voice. Like,
Yeah.
It doesn't
you
happen.
can't.
So
I can't believe I didn't notice it though.
I covered up something very specific that he did last episode. There was a point where he was watching Reiner from on the rooftops, and I said that it was Peak. I was like, and Peak is watching them, but it was Aaron.
What? That was in the previous episode. Hold up a minute. I don't remember that. It must have been something that you masked really well because I literally have no memory of that.
From behind, they look very similar because it only showed like the shoulders up.
Aaron's
Yeah.
and Marley.
Yep.
Under
And I'm
disguise
so glad you didn't
and
notice last
infiltration
episode.
and I could have noticed last episode.
Yes, you
though.
definitely could have.
Did he speak?
Nope.
He
Never
didn't say a
spoke
single
once.
word.
Nope.
I
And
would have
even-
noticed immediately if that
Yeah,
was
and-
like that was the voice they had. Yuki
Even-
Kaji kind of doing a little bit of an older Aaron voice, but that's
Yeah.
100% identifiable then.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Oh yeah. Like even when
Wow.
our officer did the bang, you know, or the boom or whatever, and then everyone dropped.
Fell weird.
He fell over, but he didn't make any exclamation of like,
Yeah.
oh no.
He
or,
wasn't shocked. He had his armband on the wrong arm, which
Yep.
made me kind of look at him a little bit and go, huh? Because that's just a thing that all the kids know. Like it's
Right.
It's like brainwashed into them. But the fact that they had, Falco quickly going, oh, it's on the wrong side. I'm like, holy shit! Like he's so traumatized
Yep.
and inert.
Right.
And I think that was how I interpreted it, was that he was inert.
Right.
to where-
Just unresponsive and
Yeah.
like
right. And that makes sense.
amidst all the other stuff, totally makes sense. But
But
yeah,
oh my
that-
god, I
it's
did
Aaron.
not notice at all, or didn't even think back on the whole. His peak looking down at them.
I'm rather proud of myself for that one because
Wow, because I didn't question it at all. I was just like, oh, okay, scroll past.
because that,
Oh
that
my
was that was the
God.
one where it's like, okay, that's a bit too on the nose. That's straight up like Batman and stuff, and like he has one leg, so like
that's the thing. That's the thing. How long has he been here? This
knows?
can't be a new thing. This can't be a thing that he's been here for like a day or 3. You know?
probably not.
Like he had to have at least found some way to slowly basically get into the whole area of things where he could even be close to a warrior in training here.
Sure.
But holy shit. This is like Aaron, and he's like an adult. Like
Yeah.
he's
we
like,
got a time skip, baby.
we've had a time skip.
Yep.
But
This is his new design.
Right, but the things he was talking about were drawing the parallels to him
yeah.
and Reiner in a really cool way.
I absolutely love all the interactions from this episode. Like, like if anything, the one thing that I wish had been different about this episode is that they had removed the OP to spend more time on stuff. Like when it we are communicated to that Reiner is about to end his life, eat a bullet.
Yeah.
And then Falco pounds on the wall and that stops him and everything, right? But I would have loved to have just like another 5 or 10 seconds to linger on that bit there, you know. But we got the backstory.
Yeah, we got backstory, y'all. And this is like one of the things that I've been speculating on since like forever ago, but just what must it have been? What must it have been like?
Yep.
And here we see Reiner was a good boy. He didn't have a dad nearby because his dad
His dad was Marlian.
His dad was Marley and his mom was Eldian, thus he couldn't basically, be near them.
Right.
And it wasn't just a thing of where he wanted to, but
I don't want to get hanged or have my whole family get into
some
get
kind
in serious
of
trouble.
Serious
You guys
trouble.
are the devils.
Yeah, exactly. And I love that his mother even tried to frame it that way to basically help him
Right.
kind of deal with it.
If only we were Marlians, then our family could be together, kind of a thing.
Yeah. And to be fair, she was stating primarily just facts. She wasn't giving
Right.
him interpretations to how to
it
view
was
it.
his own conclusions, right? So she was saying, if only we had been born Marlian and stuff, right?
So that he takes it
as we'll be honorary Marlians if I become a warrior, and there you go, it'll be great.
Yeah, but holy shit, just seeing them as kids, seeing that Reiner was the one that was literally the Aaron of the group.
Yep.
His whole thing that made him actually, enticing to this was that he really wanted to be a warrior. He really wanted to be a loyal Marlian so that he could help his family. And thus his determination, his fierce ness of his personality, the same thing that Aaron kind of had, instead of being about how he hates the Titans in this case, it's that he's putting on the hatred, if you will, so that he can be seen as, I'm the best at this.
Yep.
And thus, he actually gets it, not because that was something that they found so enticing. They're a tactical unit. It's like, no, we actually heard from, what was his name? Marcel?
Yeah, Marcel, yeah.
That, no, you're actually fantastic at this.
And maybe, Galliard isn't quite ready.
Right, yeah. Galliard's got some
In another
wavering.
13 years, maybe he'll be
Right.
good to go.
Just to save his brother. Mm-hmm. And then he dies, like, right in, like, the second day of their mission.
Yep.
So, oh my god, the way they basically set up Reiner's character to basically just be like, all right, we shall now lift you higher. We are going to take you so much further beyond any of the other characters in characterization, to the point where I was actually worried that they weren't going to give us any time really with Annie or Bertolt, but they did. They did so much with so little.
The fact that they were able to do it in this episode, like, because this is something where the having the manga for comparison will be really interesting. Now I'll need to go back and check to see if, like, there's other stuff that will be brought in later or things like that. But this was a big segment in the manga, right?
Yeah. Okay.
So the fact that they did such a good job of condensing it, like, that's major props. And I know that there are a bunch of manga fans out there that will probably be a little bit upset of like, oh, okay, there's content that could have been in here that wasn't or
They
whatever.
cut stuff out.
Yeah, but it's all things considered, bang up job, way to go.
Bang up usually means negative.
Oh,
I get what you're saying.
and there was almost a bang up this episode. So,
God damn it! Don't.
So
this episode was just heavy though. So we get kids, child soldiers, and they're each basically weighed, measured, and found perfect for the jobs in which they're entailed. We get to see them enacting their practice, if you will, on just another nation.
Yep.
And it feels so much like there were so many like season 1 kind of parallels and callbacks this episode.
Even to Annie like squashing the bugs by the tree.
Yep.
Very similar to how Petra went. Yeah.
Yep. Like this was very much a, hey, do you remember the 104th? And how much you were, attached to them because they were kids about to go off and
save
fight
the world
evil bad and save the world. And oh, by the way, let's recontextualize all that. They were all just killing humans.
Right.
In fact, they were all just killing humans who were basically used as slave weapons to go and just harass their own people.
Oh, and for the, let's show exactly just how hardened our warriors had to get before they joined the 104th, to the point where, when Shadis is looking at all of them and they've just got that dead 1,000-yard stare, it's like, well,
you guys are perfect for this.
Yeah, you guys are perfect for this.
Yeah,
it's like,
they've already seen shit outside the of Malvaria.
They're them being all lined up behind Mikasa wasn't because they were Titans. No. It's because this is nothing new, Yeah.
God, that's just so crazy. Okay, so a lot of this episode was in the backstory.
Yes.
But I gotta say, however they decided basically to edit this with how they transitioned between scenes, and I was still able to follow.
Right, while keeping it very fast.
Right, but it wasn't just a linear, here's the backstory, and then we jump a bunch forward with these specific things. They cut back to things out of context and out of the linear timeline here, just to give focus to basically Reiner's evolution as a person and a warrior.
Right.
So eventually we see that the issue that Galliard had with him there in the was that the first episode? Or the second episode? God, I've rewatched the first and second episode so many times. They're all
the second episode
had
so much in it, but I believe it was the second.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah. Because then Peak comes in and it's like, hey, stop, berating him. Basically, this moment here is replaying out potentially again in the current timeline in that we have young little wits,
Yep.
And there's there's people on both sides of things trying to push one of the kids, both potentially two adults, like the comment was mentioning earlier, to maybe have one of them be the Titan so that the other one doesn't have to be.
Right.
Because as Aaron put it at the end, sometimes
It's outside of people's control.
sometimes things outside your control push you into specific things, and you get to experience a unique kind of hell because of that.
Yeah.
We'll get into
Why did
Aaron's.
it have to go like this? And
Yeah. But the fact that this whole thing is basically just a gigantic tragedy,
Yep. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
and it's framed around him as being the young, heroic, or hopeful, heroic protagonist who's going out to do the thing, and then almost immediately his compatriots start dying, turn on him,
Yep.
actually almost kill him, like to the point where I was worried Annie was going to be like, and we're going to go back right now, are we going to fight? And it literally would have turned into a female Titan and armored Titan fight as Bertolt just cries near a tree, and then
Yeah,
they literally
could've
beat
been.
the shit out of each other until probably Reiner would have won and been like, no, we are doing this. But that's
or
almost
he
basically what happened. It just didn't end up taking them into Titan form because
Yep. But at the same time, Annie was the one with the grappling. Like,
that's true. But the idea was that
it
when-
wouldn't have gone well.
it wouldn't have gone well, but this is kind of to show that Annie wasn't about to actually turn on him as an enemy at this point. She was just so angry.
Right.
And so
Like you seriously fucked this up.
Yeah, exactly. And now I probably won't see my home, my family again.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
I'm gonna take out all that frustration on you. And the idea that like Marcel was the leader, that's just so perfect.
Yeah.
Because then the thing of Reiner being like, oh, like, I'm the leader. I'm
Yeah,
the one
Reiner's
kind of-
gone. Yeah.
Well, right. I was meaning like back in season 1. Meaning like
Oh, okay.
Reiner was obviously the leader in season
Yes.
1. You could feel it.
That's
He-
how they described him even. Yeah.
Yeah, he was the big brother to everyone there. But the way you could tell that Annie specifically didn't like Reiner, like she actively avoided him.
Oh,
and
yeah.
he would do things that were like,
Kind
Annie.
of ribbing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Almost like he was lording over the fact that he had like kind of a position over her. And
Okay.
she couldn't fight back really.
Well,
except for the one part where Aaron kind of pushed him into, now you have to fight back, and then she like
Throws him. Yeah.
like, okay, I'm gonna let out all my
Yep.
my
Yep.
frustration there.
Right. It's one of those things where Reiner is
Wow.
it stops being an act, right? He's
Yeah.
method. He's going into it, and this is just who he's turning into. And as a
they're
result,
seeing it.
and they're seeing it. They're seeing it right
So
in front of
she's
them.
like, get your face away from me. And
right.
I'm gonna
They-
barf.
Yeah. They can't even really confront him about it because one, they're
They're in
amidst
too
the
deep,
enemy,
too.
right?
Yeah.
But they're also in too deep, right? His point of, if we go back, do you really think I'll be the only one that's punished?
God, that's
like,
so so
That's-
twisted.
Yep,
The
yep,
idea that he's like, I'm gonna be the hero. Wait a minute.
you all have to. You're all in as deep as as I am.
Yeah. I will bring you down with me.
Right.
Even though Reiner is a broken, scared little boy. If it came down to it in the end, do you think he actually would have the guts? I don't know.
Who
But I'll
knows?
just say that when he got his face kicked in and bloody,
And then he
he
stood back
back up, that was the moment where when
That's
he
the
said
armored Titan.
Reiner is gone. Holy shit! Like
Yep.
that.
Yep.
Like I got vibes of so many other characters I've seen in fiction that have that moment where they
Just snap. Yeah.
and it's not an act, and they literally lose that tether to
sanity.
to
whatever.
to their foundation basically.
Yep.
They're like a towel just kind of lightly being tossed about by the wind, and there's almost nothing you can do to bring them back down to earth. They're completely untethered.
Yep.
And the fact that Bertolt here, who seems to be in the early stages the empathetic one, like the thing that made him really like
Well, yeah.
different was that he was like, hey, Reiner, like, loyalty's important too. Like,
Right.
hey,
You can do it. It's gonna be
like,
okay.
It's gonna be okay, buddy. And you could tell that Marcel was still the leader, and that he was like,
Oh, definitely.
like he was kind of maneuvering things, but he was also more of like, I'm going to stop the conflict,
Right.
but I'm going to leave with my brother. I'm not going to stay here and comfort you.
Right.
That was what Bertolt did.
Yep.
And so Bertolt being the the empath, the one that basically is the god of destruction. I'm
Yeah.
not going to make a Crimson King joke. And
No.
if you guys know it, you guys, I
Yeah.
don't need to say it. I just need to say that, and you know what I'm talking about.
Yep.
But the other thing of just that he sees all this going down as these two are at each other's throats.
Oh, yeah.
And he's just like, please, just stop.
Yeah.
Like,
And I love that.
someone find us.
Right,
my
exactly,
God.
exactly.
Ah.
Like I love how as new stuff gets brought in Attack on Titan, right? You know, so with the someone find us, who knows if Isayama had all of this
course.
context planned out
Of course.
with that line. He very well might not have.
It doesn't matter,
But
really.
regardless, he does an exceptional job of basically saying, hey, I'm going to set up things that very clearly have a lot of impact, weight behind them, etc. And then I'll bring things up later that help fill in what that is. Sometimes it even puts impact to things that you didn't even realize were there. Like the whole idea that they were in the same building as Eren, Armin, and Mikasa, you know, back then.
And rewatching season 1, guys, you can see them very clearly amongst the refugees that are basically survivors of
yeah,
Walt
Annie is
Maria.
in the line to get the bread and you know that
exactly.
kind of thing.
And
Yeah.
it's those kinds of things where you go like, oh, holy
Hold
shit.
on,
Like,
wait, yeah,
like,
right. And then
because-
like the, you know, when Eren or when Eren's Titan is found, and then Annie makes her comment, and then Reiner and Bertolt are sort of like, you know, like, this changes things, you know.
Right. But that's kind of more season 2 in
Exactly.
context with season 1 discussion.
Yep.
But in this case here, we see that this was just the thing that they were pushed to do. Like Eren kind of had his little monologue at the end with Falco.
Yep.
And yet, at the end of it there, when they're there huddled together, Reiner's the one that apologizes to them. He's already taken on the position of the leader by taking responsibility, by saying that I ultimately pushed us to do this.
Right.
We could have gone back home and rolled the dice. Some of us might have died. Some of us might not have died.
We
But
certainly can't now,
we can't now, exactly.
but I pushed us to this.
So now, I'm sorry. And there's so much about a character that's broken that sometimes you have to doubt a little bit of what they're saying because they don't know themselves truly. So the things they say are lies to themselves sometimes.
Sure.
But I think there's moments like this in the story where you can feel the truest, deepest part of the character come out, and it just breaks your heart because you realize what they have to do now going forward, not just because we know the plot, but because you can see who these characters are in the midst of this just crazy
Right.
situation.
Yeah, they're so broken that they can't help but be raw a lot of the time. You know.
It's like that moment where Reiner just realizes, oh no, they're going to abandon me.
Yep.
Which was the idea that he was so scared about, I think, when it was, there's 7 of you, and we're going to pick 6.
Yeah.
No, wait, don't
Hold on.
abandon me.
Yeah.
And this is the same thing that they had kind of, they've done this visual motif of the kid saying wait, holding out his left hand.
Oh, yeah.
Reaching out.
Yep.
It's something that they've really been focusing on, so that was a really cool way to bring it up. But the fact that Annie just absolutely showed her raw side here when she beat the face in of Reiner. Oh my god. Like,
Yeah.
I liked the more we got of Annie's deeper side, but we didn't get her full character back in season 1.
Oh, yeah, definitely not. Right, because she couldn't be, right? She was, she was undercover. Yeah.
And just the fact that we get to see this here, God, that's so good.
Yep.
But I will have probably unnerving sleeping moments of Reiner's face with dead white eyes,
Blood covering
gushing
it.
his face, and Annie's like, oh shit. Like,
Right.
I
Yep.
just heard that. And it's already, too late. He jumps
Right.
her and
what I love about it is that it just adds more context to the eventual moment with Marco where he snaps completely. Because yes, that is a traumatic moment, like, we could only imagine. But it wasn't just all of a sudden 0 to 60, right?
Yeah.
That it was built up to, right? There was so much strain being put on Reiner as a person, right? But he's the armored one.
Yep.
He keeps on going, and then all of a sudden it's too much, and crack, snap.
Yep.
There you go.
I wanted to bring up something that I think is a really obtuse parallel,
Okay.
which I know is contradictory in geometric terms here. But Reiner has his moment where we see what's going on in his head when he smashes through the inner wall of Shiganshina
Right.
through Walmaria. Is he's thinking back to Marcel and what he did and why did he do it? I was the one that should have died. Why did he apologize? Why did he save someone like me? You know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of what Aaron's father did for Aaron. Why was he apologizing? Why did he do this? Why did he do this for me?
Okay.
I just gotta say, one of the things I really love about Attack on Titan is there are times where you can feel like the characters are all connected in their plight.
Yes.
The way that they're suffering. And that I feel like is one of the beautiful parts of, Attack on Titan, is that this world is really beautiful and also quite cruel.
Yep.
And the ways in which it is cruel are the same. Just people get different images
Sure.
of it. People get different flavors of it.
Yep. Different place, different time, same old story.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But Marcel gave himself up to be eaten so that Reiner might be saved. And Aaron's dad gave himself up to be eaten so that, humanity might be saved.
Sure. Yeah.
And it's just crazy to think about how these kinds of little things repeat themselves. And I love that. And then probably the one part in the episode that I'm still a little bit like, okay.
Confused by?
Not confused by, but like, it was a weird choice to have, was the Annie's mission to the Capitol Underground, which
Yeah.
I understand that it's something to show a couple things. One, that she's the one off doing solo missions. One, because she can't stand to look at Reiner's face.
Yes.
So that makes sense. Two, you can definitely tell that because she was the one that basically was, I think, serious about going into the military police, that she needed to be the one that would be the covert
Right.
by herself,
Yeah.
very, very odd missions and stuff.
Yeah, at this point, Reiner and Bertolt are like, okay, apparently Aaron's a Titan. We need to investigate that. And she's on the but founding Titan, isn't it? Probably in the capital somewhere.
Right, and that is something that's rather interesting that I think we can infer a couple things without needing harder kind of
Data to work with, yeah.
Objective stuff through the backstory to work with here is that they ended up splitting the party to focus on the individual things there.
Sure.
But it is kind of interesting to think about that in some ways Annie's investigation was doomed to fail because at this point Aaron already
is both the attack
is
and
the
founding Titan. Right.
So yeah.
And
That-
it's something where like
but seeing Kenny was really cool.
Yeah, seeing Kenny was really cool, and it also is one of those things where it makes me wonder like how much of the decision to basically keep an eye on Aaron, was because okay, he's a Titan and we need to do that, versus Reiner maybe also getting moved by what Aaron said.
Yeah.
And then Bertolt being like, I need to keep an eye on Reiner,
Yeah.
so I'll go with him, And then, of course, Annie, she's like, well, that's fine with me because then I don't need to see Reiner anymore.
God. So then we had the guy who was telling them the story.
Yep.
About what happened that day when the Titans came.
And I love that they remember it so vividly that they just ended up using it.
Yep. Yep.
Just, rumbling, and I, opened the window and there was a Titan.
And the reason why they share that story is because it's now Bertolt's living nightmare. Or the thing he sees every time he goes to sleep. And the stuff that we even mentioned
in the previous
recently
episode
about the idea that, remember Bert's whole weird, contorted,
sleeping patterns?
Yeah.
Is there potentially any other reason for that?
Yeah. Yeah. Look at this, guys. Look at this just scarred little boy.
Yep.
This little child soldier forced to be a mass murderer. And you know what's worse about this?
What?
Is Bertolt would have gone probably along with Annie. He liked
probably.
her.
Yeah, yes, yeah, that's a great point. Yeah, he totally would have.
He was one that was probably already like kind of in the I'm a follower.
Sure.
I just want to stick with the group and I want to do everything right, but
oh, the group split up.
Oh no, the group split up. Who would he have chosen here? I don't know. I think he would have gone with Annie if Reiner hadn't been so terrifyingly convincing.
Right.
And that means that Reiner also forced this upon Bertolt.
Sure. Yep.
Like, imagine how much that has got to break him up inside.
Oh yeah, the
because
guilt
he
on
cares-
Reiner just keeps for himself.
Well, that too
just keeps getting higher.
But think about from Bert's position where he's like, I'm gonna end up needing to be the one to take care of these guys soon. Reiner's falling apart.
Yeah,
I
uh-huh.
can't stop it.
Right.
I can only just
I'm
be
just
there
watching.
and remind him every once in a while that
You're a
remember,
warrior.
You're a warrior, right?
Yeah, and that's the most he can do.
That's all he can do.
Like just saying, like that's such
because
that's-
Annie had basically given up on Reiner. She's
Oh,
like,
yeah,
nah,
yeah.
fuck you, I hate you.
And from their perspective, their mission and everything, saying remember that you're a warrior, that's such bare minimum stuff, like
Oh, yeah.
getting Reiner just to barely so that his nose is above water, for their own mission. It's like,
Yeah, and then we have here something that I am so love the way they cut in between this moment with Eren and Reiner about to blow his own brains out in the present. He's saying, Reiner, how do you do it? And it's just like the vagueness of how do you do it? How
Yeah.
do you keep going on? And it's just this moment of like, oh my god, I've missed Yuki Kaji's voice, which is also brilliant to have us hear Eren
hear his voice again before they
show him in the present. How can I get like you and Mikasa? And you know what's so broken and just messed up about this? Is that Eren is in some ways well on his own road to being like them,
yeah.
or he's already like
right.
them.
How can I be like the two super traumatized people?
Yeah, that just put aside all their humanity just to do the thing in front of them. Hey, I aspire for that.
that would be great if I could be like that.
That's so good writing just in general, because
yeah.
we know, we are the audience, we have the omniscient perspective here. We know where he's going.
Sure.
But if you don't like look just a little bit into it, you realize like, wait a minute, we actually don't know who Eren is right now because we've had a time skip.
Sure.
He could be farther along the road by any metric. We don't really know where
we
he's
don't
at.
know what's happened,
And
yeah.
then the episode immediately after this basically says, here's where he's at.
I wish it didn't have to come to this.
Yeah. yeah. At this rate, I'll die without doing a damn thing. Maybe
that's not
a good
such a bad thing.
Maybe that's not so exactly.
Yeah,
maybe
like-
that's not so bad. And that's basically what Reiner's thinking as well in the present. Like,
am I gonna die without doing a damn thing?
am I gonna?
And then Falco, doesn't even mean to,
God.
doesn't even know he did it, but he saves Reiner right there.
This is just such a cool little like not paths but kind of paths moment, where it's all the time stuff starts blending together as it's him in this moment where he loads the bullet in there and he's thinking back to all these moments, all these times, all these specific things, and yet he's still doing it. You
Just do what you've gotta do.
That's not an answer.
Well, and
That's not an answer.
yeah, no, it's not.
Keep moving forward. Hey, that's true. But you're gonna do that alone?
Yeah, at what point when it gets to where
You need someone to lift you back up. And
Yeah,
in this case,
exactly,
Reiner did
right.
that for Eren, who wasn't, nearly in as bad of a place at this time
And-
where Reiner was. But, who's to compare here? Just the fact that Eren was willing to actually kind of ask Reiner for help. Eren was
Yeah.
really kind of stuck up and, angry and
Sure.
was like, I'm right. I'm going the right way. And at this point here where he's just doing some training and it just,
Being vulnerable.
I guess it just hits him all of a sudden.
And
It's the perfect time to have this kind of a moment here.
And what I love about one of the other things I love about this is that Falco, the one who feels like he can't do anything, right? Gabby's going to become the armored titan. I can't stop it. I can't, and what's going to happen here? And this isn't a good life we're living here. This isn't even really living, you could say,
No.
right? And without him even realizing it,
Yep.
he pulls Reiner back from the brink.
Yep. Yep.
God, I love it.
That's so good.
This world is cruel, but also very beautiful.
And then
Even in
Reiner
the
also
darkest
at this
of
point, who
places.
doesn't really know anything about who Eren is or
Yeah,
what he
yeah,
is,
he
is
doesn't know.
encouraging him to drive out every last Titan, which is kind of disturbing if you think about now that Titans are, people,
Yeah.
Eldians.
Yeah.
So,
God. And the way that Ryan, or not that Reiner's like looking at the window, but the way it shows the shot of like looking up at the window, through the barred opening.
it so hurts because when you realize that Falco was like not even intending to like he doesn't know.
Yeah, he has no idea that this was about to happen.
He has no idea. This was basically just fate, paths, you know, the world, just everything, just calling out to Reiner, being like, no.
Not yet.
No.
No plot armored Titan.
No, you can't let this go on.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
And I love it for
and
like
he hears that.
He hears it and I love how it goes for a couple reasons. One, there's the fact that he remembers what he has to fight for, to live for, you know, all of that.
He remembers those kids, yeah.
But then regardless, even if he wanted to basically push that away and say, no, I'm not going to think about that because this is too much, there is no way in hell that he's going to blow his brains out with Falco literally on the other side of the wall.
God.
He's not going to do it.
And it's just crazy to think that almost immediately after this,
Falco, 50 feet away.
Falco, who's just having his own crisis right now, then goes to Eren, unbeknownst to him, sees the guy who, you know, he kind of helped with the armband and everything. And at this moment, I'm like, oh, cool, it's this guy.
Yeah, with the first line, it's like, you know, it's not totally clear, but then it's like...
Let's go to the top. Kinda. I'm here for emotional trauma, but it's a lie. And in that moment, the dialogue, all the stuff of what had just happened, the previous thing gets thrown away, and I'm like, holy shit.
What? Yeah.
That is Yuki Kaji's voice. Guys, when you've watched enough anime with Yuki Kaji, he stands out like sticks out like a sore thumb in all the best kind of ways. Like, he's a great voice actor. He's an astonishingly good voice actor.
God bless actors with range.
Yes.
But Yuki Kaji doesn't really need it.
He doesn't really need it. He can sell it with the acting.
Yep.
And
just do the voice and it's great.
Yeah, but then he's basically being honest to Falco here. I'm here for emotional trauma, but it's a lie. Like, think about it. Eren is probably dealing with some emotional trauma.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, he's been dealing with it.
But the reason as to why he's here in Marley, that's a lie. No. He's here, he's spying on them, he's looking at them through things here. There's a mission going on right now, and we're gonna go full on like Attack on Titan thing, where they're like, here's where things are right now. But flashback, let's show you how we set this whole thing up.
Sure.
Because we still are focused essentially on the Marley Eldian perspective here.
Yep.
And we'll need to eventually go and see what the parody's perspective is.
Right.
And they're probably going to do the classic thing of, so we know who the female Titan is. So we know who the armored and colossal Titan are. So we know how to get into Marley and stuff like that.
Right.
There's plenty of peoples, nations, and stuff that will just have people like being dealt with the fringes of war, and we're just going to drop you guys there, and you guys will meander your way eventually into there. This is a repeat of basically entirely what season 1 was about with infiltrators. Titans in the walls!
Oh boy! Titans in the walls, but now the Titans in the walls.
The Titans in the walls. Like, where's Armin? Armin is definitely like nearby.
Oh yeah, like we literally okay. We literally saw in the flashback of just what happens when you have the Colossal Titan underground and he just decides, you know what? You know, there is that whole thing that people say of like, oh, trap the Titans underground so they can't transform. I don't think that really applies to me.
No,
you know?
No, when the explosive force is actually contained in some ways,
that makes it bigger.
The pressure,
lets it build up a bit. You know, for the nukes, for the later designs, they actually made it so that it would first explode inward, so that all of the material could detonate.
And then I said I lost my memory and can't go home, but I just don't want to. This is the part where I'm like, I'm gonna hang on every word he says.
Oh yeah.
It's hard to face my family. Oh no, sorry, no, that's what he said. It'd be hard to face my family now. Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
So
right, because think like, can you imagine what it's like for Eren thinking of the memory of his mom, right, and realizing because he called out to Falco. It wasn't that Falco saw him and was like, "Oh hey, how are you doing?" Like he called him over. Like there's got to be some part of Eren that's realizing, these are people. These are just people in the same way that Reiner realized they aren't demons and devils and stuff. Nah, they're just people.
What's a potential thing that I see going on here? Well, this is kind of the thing of Aaron kind of looking through the eyes of this boy and being like, what do I do here?
Yeah.
Kid, kind of show me the way a little bit, you know? Mm-hmm. And
Help a lame old man walk.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
Yeah.
But here's a little bit of a different way you could look at this. Mm-hmm. Aaron might actually be here alone.
Oh.
And
Okay.
if he's here alone, why did he leave?
Who knows?
Why did Aaron, who is basically the key to everything, like
Right.
he is the main character.
Yep,
He
the
has the
hero of Paradise
superpower.
and-
He has all the things and stuff like that. He looks like he's basically just a broken man. That could be the disguise. That could be the whole thing and stuff. But remember who we left at the beach? Like at the end of season 3?
Uh-huh.
Did that guy look like he was like ready to go on some kind of intense underground mission?
Well, yeah, the outward state of Aaron here could definitely be a thematic representation of basically what's happened over the course of the show.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. True. True. Yeah.
You know,
that's a
he's
theoretical
missing
possibility.
parts of himself. you
Right.
know?
But
Yeah.
what if he just ran away? What if he just?
Ooh.
What if he just?
I don't want to
actually-
be a part of it anymore.
if-
I want to rest. You know.
What if he basically just went out here to basically just get away
Mm-hmm.
from everything? And in some ways, maybe there's some little bits of, because he's not royal blood stuff, so we can't utilize the founding titan
Right.
necessarily. But like, what if there's some elements of bleed through to where he's already starting to think like, oh shit, like I actually don't want to do this as much.
Right. And yeah, let me get that new perspective. And now that I see this,
Yeah.
what do I do? You know,
Right,
like,
right.
because
Yeah.
if we kill everyone over there, will we finally be free? You know,
and it'd be hard to face my family now. I don't know. Let's get the rest of what he says here. And it'd be hard to face my family now. You're hurt. Is it from your warrior training? Yeah, but I won't become one. Another candidate is so talented, I don't even stand a chance. So then there's another little
Right.
thing of, the Reiner or Galliard kind of
yep.
difference there. That's really cool. And he just says, that's good to hear.
Yeah.
Basically realizing that, oh, wait, this guy, he's speaking.
You're potentially gonna get saved from the life of being a warrior. That's something to celebrate. You know.
Right.
Yeah.
Which is something that would be treasonous,
Yes.
So that was the thing Reiner called him out on, basically. You're a good guy. Hope you live a long life. Which is basically like, if I, with my friends, attack this place, I hope you're nowhere nearby. Like,
kind of like the baby driver thing of the call in sick tomorrow.
yeah, exactly. But I don't want them to be a warrior. Why not?
Doesn't say anything, and he's like,
Is the other candidate a girl?
yeah. It's like, well,
it's not that simple, She, it's not powerless. I can't do a damn thing about it. And that theme of powerlessness and being trapped and stuff like that, Aaron starts to feel,
right, and
kindred spirit.
right,
connection here.
because he is both the person that definitely started out as literally powerless, maybe still feels powerless,
Sure.
and yet now he is the one that has
Every
the
damn
power,
hero.
the doohickey, yeah.
I think, why did it come to this? Damaged minds and bodies, their freedom taken away, even losing themselves. If people knew it would come to this, nobody would go to war. Most people are pushed by something, forced to march into hell. That something, this part here, that something wasn't their choice. Their situation or others made them do it. Now, this is something where basically Aaron's kind of calling back to the walls being broken down, his family, losing them all.
Yep.
And basically that wasn't his choice. And yes, it did compel him to become who he is today. But there were points, and we saw this with Reiner, where he didn't want to go on.
Right.
He wasn't able to keep going. And then he mentions, but people who push their own back see a different kind of hell. Basically saying that I'm now the one that's pushing my own back.
Right, and it's something that makes so much sense because that's the kind of person that Aaron's been this whole time in the show, right? Like ever since Colossal Titan kicked in the wall, right, and his mom died. That's what happened when he grabbed the side of that boat, and we saw those eyes. That's the kind of person he turned into, you know?
They can see something beyond the hell. So
Right.
is this Eren seeing hope? Is this Eren
Maybe.
seeing basically an end where everything actually does resolve with no war, with with humanity finally
Yeah.
being free?
It's, you know, this is the only way to save Mikasa and Armin kind of a thing, you know?
Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
Uh-huh.
That sounds wonderful. But Eren, like, this sounds like you again alone.
Sure.
This sounds like you again separated from everyone else. This sounds like you pushing yourself, not having some other people walk alongside you and lift you up.
Yeah, you need-
This sounds like you in a bad way, Eren.
Yeah, this, you know,
It might be hope. He mentions that,
Mm-hmm.
but it may even be may even be another hell.
right.
And you can almost just feel that Falco is like hanging on his every word. But then we see that Eren directly then calls back to the Reiner scene and says, only those who keep moving forward will ever know. And this is in the context, this is an Eren that knows who Reiner is,
Yeah.
knows all that stuff.
Knows
that
what so
happened.
many of these people have done.
Now also sees what made someone like Reiner.
Sure.
And does he actually have the means to keep his vision on track towards something that will be a brighter future for humanity?
Right,
not
right,
just
right.
the
Exactly,
people on Paradise, or
exactly.
not just
Yep,
you,
yep.
Mikasa, and Armin.
Yep.
Oh boy, I am really scared. I am really, really scared about what Eren's going to do in the coming episodes. Like,
Oh, man.
I care so much about the characters on both sides, but it's really the thing of where we were rapidly given reasons to care about characters
Yes.
on the Marley side.
Yeah.
Didn't know them before, this season.
Yep.
It wouldn't take much. It wouldn't take much if Eren here to completely upend and overturn everything. If he is not here alone, there's no way they could stop them. Like if
Yeah. One
Armin is
imposter,
here,
you know, it's like, okay,
Yeah,
one
yeah.
imposter, sure.
yeah, we can vote them out.
Right.
No, if they've got like a crack team here and Armin as well, and Armin has taken the last, few years to
Figure out how to properly
it out.
utilize the Colossal Titan.
even though apparently that was a cool thing that they brought up just casually, that Bert was a prodigy.
Oh, yeah,
Bert
yeah.
actually picked up the Colossal Titan immediately.
Yeah. And now, granted, there's not too much to pick up about Explode, but
I mean, it's
yeah.
it's a monster of a Titan, so I
Yep.
would actually assume that the Colossal Titan would actually be the hardest one to pick up.
right. No, definitely. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And I like that they also brought up the whole idea when they were talking about, okay, Marcel just got eaten, what do we do? Of our Titans can't catch up. Like it was the jaw, right? Like, so it's too fast, right? We won't actually be able to find it necessarily, right? Because that's the immediate, question of, if it's like, oh no, one of our Titans got eaten, well, go get it. Let's go. Annie, you're fast, just sprint after it. But
That's actually a really good point. Do you realize that by having that little conversation there, they basically just canceled any kind of potential plot hole discussion that they could have had regarding, like, oh my god, so they literally like could have just gone over there and just picked up Ymir, and then this whole thing would have been different. Like
yeah.
they could have. Ymir didn't just pick it up and run away. Like that.
Potentially.
That's not what happened, right? Like
Well, Ymir did run a fair bit.
no, but she didn't like instantly like turn into the Titan and then just run around, didn't she?
Well, no. So she was asleep and kind of buried. She woke up, ate
No, it
Marcel.
took a while for her to get. Oh, well, right.
No,
When she ate Marcel
and then ran
right.
off, and then eventually, after some undisclosed
right.
period of time,
But that was it.
probably when it got to nighttime is about when she stopped, and then she emerged and
Right.
Call
But
of
there was a long period of time where she basically untransformed out of the Titan into a human form.
right there was
And during that time, she was a Titan the whole way through, so they could have tracked her, actually. Meaning that the reason why they didn't was because of the character conflicts that they had as the three of them, not because they couldn't find her, theoretically. I just like the idea that they're basically saying, there was a chance that we could have found Ymir. But the reason why they didn't wasn't because, oh, no, they couldn't do it. It was no, Reiner convinced them. Reiner's character decision
Yes.
was the one that made them actually decide not to do it.
Right, and there was enough doubt that we might not be able to that. Okay, his argument got a lot more convincing.
Right.
Yeah.
I just like that it wasn't that they reasoned through this. It was an emotional character conflict decision that made that happen. I just
Yeah.
It's just ways that Attack on Titan kind of writes in a way that makes sure that you don't end up questioning too much the parts that are more on the lines of like kind of plot convenience. And that's a really like skillful thing to do.
Yes.
To make sure that you do that. And that was just one of those things where thinking back on, I'm like, oh,
Right, and
Yeah,
especially
yeah.
for something where they weren't able to spend too much time. Like that scene did get a good amount of time, you know.
yes, it got
but
a very fair amount of time.
yeah, but considering how much was in the episode as a whole, the fact that they were able to sort of throw that in there so that it was handled quickly and well is impressive.
Yeah, and the fact that they were so scared shitless that Reiner outran Annie, probably one of the most physically fit of all the original
Well,
wits.
Yeah,
you
that
know?
that thing I was wondering if that was more of a bit of mockery of, oh, so now that you're scared and running for your life, you finally are faster.
you finally found your strength, right?
Right, exactly.
In your cowardice,
right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Ooh,
Yep.
okay.
Yep.
I cannot wait now to have a quiet moment with Reiner and his mom. With all this backstory in mind, all this stuff, the fact that Aaron's here, the fact that the whole thing could go to shit any minute now.
Yeah.
I want Reiner and his mom to have a little conversation.
Wouldn't that be great?
Just a
Yep.
little conversation.
Now,
Where they have all these like things that are not spoken because they don't need to be said, but because we now have a lot of backstory stuff, we can kind of infer what's not being said, you know,
Right.
basically.
now imagine for a second that each of these episodes took about 2.5 months to come out.
Okay.
Because
okay.
that's about the conversion from the manga, with a month per chapter and about 2.5 chapters per episode. Imagine it taking that long with all of the stuff that's been happening and things like that. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
that would have been rough.
Yep.
But y'all, this was quite the episode. Like the second episode and this one, Mappa, you keep doing this. You're doing a fantastic job.
Oh yeah. It's so
Oh, I
good.
love it
And-
so much.
And 2D,
Wow.
2D female Titan. Yes, that looked great. Thank you for not necessarily needing to get us to come to terms with another CG model, but yeah.
God.
Yeah.
Okay, what was one of Aaron's lines in this that you think should be a great code for the comments?
I don't know about the line, but I think we could also always just go for "Hi, Aaron." Like
Oh my God. Hi, Aaron. There you go, guys. Leave us your thoughts in the comments. Jacob can go into the comments and just have a good time with y'all, and then a couple of your comments will get featured in the next episode's reaction. But oh my God, thank you so much for watching this episode's reaction and discussion all the way through. You guys are amazing. This show is my life right now. Thank you so much. And be sure to go check out the link in the description below for our Patreon. You can get in a full-length timer reaction there where you sync up your footage and watch it along with us there. And also any level of support there gets you access to our Discord where you can chat with us and the community there. The anime-onlys in there, the manga people in there and stuff like that. And also be sure to check out our Twitch channel.
yeah, all the info for that is in the description below.
Yeah, so if any of that interests you, we'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all next time.